Okay. Hello. Uh, today the class is programming in C. Their introduction for programming C. Okay. Next, you can see. Okay, welcome to. Next, welcome in the world of C. Okay. Next, textbooks. So you can see programming in ANSI C by E. Balaguruswamy. Get TMH publications. Reference books. The C programming language by Kernighan and Ritchie, okay, PHI second edition. Next, let us see Yashwant Connector. Okay, these books you can follow. Okay. Next, importance of subject. You can see here, C is the base language of any any other programming languages. And to be a good programmer, one must know fundamentals of C programming language. You know the fundamentals of C programming language, then automatically you a good programmer. You are a good programmer. Okay. Next, history of C. What is the history of C? Okay. Root of the modern language is Algon. Okay, any language, okay, the roots of programming language, starting language is called Algon. In 1960, its first computer language, okay, to use a block structure. To use a block structure. Okay, it gave concept of structured programming, gave the concept of structured programming. Okay, in 1967, Martin Richard developed a language is called, you can see here. Okay, Martin Richard okay, developed a language is called BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language. Okay, in 1967. This is 1960 all gone. Okay, and then after. Okay, in 1970, by Ken Thompson created a language called as B language. Okay, it used to create early version of Unix. Okay, it used to create early version of Unix. In 1972, by Dennis Ritchie, introduced a new language called as C language. In 1972, Dennis Ritchie introduced a new language is called C language. Before this C language, B is there. Before that, BCPL is there. Before that, what Algol is there. Okay. Next, here you can see first 1972 traditional C. Dennis Ritchie, 1978 Ken and Ritchie. Okay, that is called Kenning and Ritchie. Okay, both are found in 1972. Okay, in 1989, okay, ANSI C. Okay, ANSI committee that is formed by ANSI committee. Okay, in 1990, ANSI by ISO. Okay, American National Standard Institute for okay, that is in C ISO committee. Okay, here this C is introduced by ISO committee. Okay, next, features of C. What are the features are there in C language? It is a robust language. Okay, programs written in C are efficient and faster. Okay, because of variety of data types and powerful operators are there. Then C program is we can written easily, efficiently, and fastly. Okay, next, highly portable. Okay, what are the related operating systems are there? Those related operating systems are highly portable. Next, well suited for structured programming. Okay, this one is the C programming language is well suited for structured programming. Before this C programming, those are not structured programming languages. Okay, from C onwards, we can okay see what are the languages are there after C. Those all are structured programming languages. Okay, next, ability to extend itself. Ability to extend itself. Okay, next, program and programming languages you can see here. Okay, program nothing but a set of instructions. Program nothing but a set of instruction which when carried out by when carried out by processor for some specific input comma generates specific output. Okay, specific input and generates a specific output. Next, programming language, a specific manner of writing a program with some predefined rules, okay, symbols and their use as a part of language, as a part of a language. Okay, that those are different types of languages are there. Pascal, C, C++, okay, VC++, Java, and VB. These are the different types of languages are there. Okay, next, basic structure of C. Okay, what are the basic structure of C? A documentation section. Okay, first one is a documentation section. It has set of comment lines. Okay, name of the programs and author details. These all are we can write down in a comment this documentation section. Okay, what is comment line? Comment line nothing but to guide a programmer to write a note for function, operations, logic in between a program. Okay, those all are we can write down in comments. Okay, next, those are non-executable statement. When we are you execute a program, okay, there what are the comment lines are there? Those comment lines are non-executable statements. Non-executable statements. Okay, next cannot be nested. Okay, those are cannot be nested. The comment lines are cannot be nested. Just you can write down the first slash and asterisk and closing. Okay, between these two you can remove, then it not gives the error. Okay, suppose you can mention like this one, this it gives the error. Okay, next, link section. Link section nothing but it provides instructions to the compiler to link function from the system library. Okay, these all are. Okay, suppose include a directives. Okay, here hash include directives. Okay, these we mention in this section only. Okay, it provides instruction to the compiler. It gives the instruction to the compiler to link functions from the system library. What are the system C libraries are there? Those all are linked with the from function from the system library. Okay, that purpose we are using hash include directives. Okay, then after to access to access the function, here you can see to access the function. Okay, what we can access here to access the function we which are stored in the library. Okay, it is necessary. Okay, to tell the compiler about the file to be accessed. Okay, what type of file we can access it and which one is necessary. Okay, these all are okay. We can access it by using this section only. Okay, suppose example you can see here hash include stdio.h. Stdio.h nothing but standard input output header file. Okay, standard input output header file is a header file. Okay, that is a header file. Okay, after comment section, after documentation section, you can write down in link section. Okay, what is the first section? First you can write down okay program name or author name or okay those you can write down in starting. Okay, at the top of the program. That purpose we are using documentation section. On that documentation section, there you can use slash asterisk at the starting and ending asterisk and slash mention there. Okay. Next, then after you can write down what are the programs are there, those programs. So then after what are the sections are there, those are sections you can write down. Okay. Next, definition section. Okay. See here in definition section, okay, in definition section, it defines all symbolic constant. What are the constants we are using in that? Okay, those all are symbolically defined. And define instructions and here define instruction, define values to a symbolic constants. Okay, these all are. Okay, hash define. There you can see it is a preprocessor compiler directive. It is a preprocessor compiler directive. Okay, this is not a statement. This is not a statement. Therefore, it should not end with a semicolon. So, C programming. What are the definition section on the definition section and documentation section and global declaration section? a linking section. There we can't mention at the end of that line, we can't mention semicolon. Okay, why means those are not statements. Okay, what are the statements inside a main function we are using? Those all statements we can end with okay, each and every line end with each and every statement end with a semicolon. Okay, there is no semicolon. Computer, what is the compiler is there? Can compiler can identify? Okay, cannot identify when their semicolons are there, then that is the end of the line. The compiler can identify this is lost for this line. Okay, and again compiler goes to the next line. Okay, that purpose we are using semicolons in C programming. Okay, next generally written in uppercase. Okay, and global declaration section. Global declaration section nothing but what in global declaration section, you can see some variables that are used in more than one function. Okay, in a program, more than one functions are there. Okay, on that more than one function, we can use these all are. We can use these all are. Okay, more than in one function. Okay, then such variables are declared in the global declaration section. Okay, global, those variables are called global variables. Those variables are called global variables. Okay, it also declared it also declares all the user defined function. It also declared all the user defined functions. Next, main function. Okay, on that main function, you can see on that main function. Okay, every C program must have one main function. Okay, there is no main function, we can't execute our C program. Okay, so main function is must and should. Okay, it contains two parts. In this main function contains two parts. One is declaration part, another one is executable part. One is declaration part, another one is executable part. In declaration part, it declares all variables. It declares all variables used in the executable part. Used in the executable part. Okay, what are the declarations are there? Those all variables are declared in the executable part. Okay, next executable part, nothing but it has at least one statement. It has at least one statement, then only this is executable part. There is no that type of statement that is not a executable part. Okay, each and every C program must and should have one main function. Okay, on that main function, the main function divided into two parts. One is declaration part and the one is executable part. In declaration part, what are the variables we are using in that program? Those all variables are declared at the declaration section. Then after those variable you can use in okay statements. Those statements are called executable part. On that executable part, what are the statements are there? Those statements are executed. Okay. Here you can see main function. Okay, here no arguments. Okay, main function void. Okay, explicitly indicates no arguments here also. Okay, here also no arguments. Okay, next, this is the structure of C programming. On that C programming, you can see documentation section, link section, definition section, global declaration section, main function section, and thereafter opening braces, declaration part, executable part, thereafter closing braces, thereafter subprogram section, next function 1, function 2, like that. Okay, user defined function. These all are what user defined functions. Okay. Next, that is the basic structure of a C program. How to run a program? How we can run a program? Okay, see here, there are two ways to run a program. Programs written in high level language. Okay, there are two ways. Okay, to run programs written in high level language. Okay, those you can see that first one. On that first one, the most common is to compile the program. The most common is the compile the program. And the other method is to pass the program. And the other method is to pass the program through an interpreter. Through an interpreter. Okay, we can pause other the other method is to pause the program through an interpreter Okay, next next compiler. What is a compiler? What is the meaning of compiler? Okay, there you can see. Okay, ma'am. Here you can see what is a compiler. Okay, why compiler is required? As machine can operate on binary code instructions only. Okay, the computer can identify only binary code. Okay, okay, that's why if we use high level language, okay, then for execution of the program, we must convert it to lower level or machine level code. Okay, that purpose we are using compiler. What purpose we are using compiler? What is the function of compiler? Compiler can convert a high level language to low level and low level to high level conversion purpose we are using a compiler. Why that compiler is needed for computer? Okay, there on that computer, okay, what are the codes are there? Those codes are binary codes. The system can only identify the binary code in the system only. Okay, binary codes. Binary language, other language cannot identify by the compiler. That's why. Okay, what is the programmer or user can return program in high level language? That high level language is called human readable form. That is like a English language. Okay, and low level language nothing but that is a machine language or low level language. Both are same. When okay, machine readable form information is there that is converted to machine low level language or machine level code. Okay, conversion purpose. Okay, the system can identify only binary language when we are using a compiler. That compiler convert. Okay, binary language nothing but what here low level language or machine level language. We can count that only low level language or machine level language. Okay, what is the high level language is there? That high level language is program. Okay, programmer can return that program that is high level language that is converted into low level language. Low level language nothing but here machine language. Okay, okay, that purpose we are using compiler. That purpose we are using a compiler. Okay, next means a program that translates a program that translates source code into object code. Okay, the compiler derives its name okay from the way it works. Okay, next looking at the entire piece of source code and collecting and recognizing the instructions. Okay, next interpreter. Okay, which analyzes and executes each line of source code okay without looking at the entire program Okay, here you can see okay what is the compiler? Compiler can translate source code to object code and object code to source code. Okay, the compiler derives its name from the way it works. Okay, looking at the entire piece of a source a code and collecting and recognizing instruction. Okay, next interpreter. What is the what purpose we are using interpreter? Which analyzes and executes each line of source code without looking at the entire program that is called an interpreter. Okay, next here you can see advantage of interpreter. Okay, what are the advantages are there? Okay, when we are using interpreter in computers. Okay, next their programming languages. Okay, it can execute a program immediately. Okay, here interpreter nothing but what are the programs are there? Those programs are executed immediately. Okay, next compiler requires some time. Okay, some time before an executable program emerges. Okay, next, but however, programs produced by compilers okay run much faster than the same program executed by the interpreter. Okay, here you can see programs produced by compilers. Okay, those are run much faster than the same program executed by the interpreter. Okay. Okay, next C compiler. Okay, C compiler. What purpose we are in C is compiler? Okay, when it checks for syntax errors, if any errors are there, okay, those errors find out by using this compiler. Okay, on success converts. Okay, on success converts C source code into object code form. Okay, those are converts. Okay, C source code into object code form. Okay, which is in nearer to machine, which is nearer to machine. Okay, those are converted into object code, source code converted into object code. Next, here C nothing but C compiler. This is also same linker. What is a linker? A linker is a program, okay, that combines object modules to form an executable program. To form an executable program. What is the meaning of that? A linker is a program that combines object modules to perform executable program to form an executable program. Okay, that is called a linker. Okay, next here you can see okay runtime library, linker, executable program, source files are there. Source file convert into object files. Those object files okay convert by using linker. Okay, what is the when we can execute the program, when we can run the program? Okay, runtime the library is added to linker and linker execute the program. Here executable program is ready. Okay, when source code convert into object code, okay, that is at a runtime by using linker. Okay, types of languages. There are two types of languages are there: low level language and higher level languages. Lower level languages and higher level languages. Okay, languages which are very near to machine. Languages which are very near to machine. Okay, those are called machine language. Those are called machine language or assembly language. Okay, next higher level language nothing but languages which are very near to programmer. Okay, languages which are very near to machine. Okay, those are called that type of language is called a machine language or assembly language. Okay, languages which are very near to programmer. Okay, very near to programmer. Okay, rather than to machine, those programs are called higher level languages. For example, C++, okay, Visual C++, Visual Basic, Java, C. Okay, these all languages are called higher level language. What are the language codes are there? What are the language source is there? That source is called higher level language. Okay, you can see here. Okay, here. Okay, hardware. Next, machine language. Next, assembly language. Next, high level language. On that high level language, you can see Fortran, C, Pascal, C++. These all are higher level languages are there. Okay, hardware components here. Okay, those are machine language. Hardware components only identified the machine language. That machine language information converted to high level language. Okay, by using assembly language. Here, assembly language nothing but that is a low level language. Okay, that is converted to high level language by using compiler. By using a compiler. Okay. Okay. Next block diagram. Represents only okay what should be the input, what should be the input, okay, and what will be the output, what should be the input and what will be the output. Okay, one need not to worry about how the result generated, okay, or what will be the logic for the program. Okay, those you need not to worry about those. Okay, next block diagram of for making addition of two numbers. You can see here input number one and number two. Next program. Output what? Number 1 plus number 2. Okay, nothing but addition of two numbers, nothing but here required two numbers, number 1 and number 2. And sometimes those two values are stored in another variable. Okay, those resultant values stored in another variable. Number 3 is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Here output is stored in another number, or directly you got the output by adding those two numbers. Okay, next algorithm specifies steps of doing the things. Okay, irrespective. Okay, irrespective of any programming language. Example: addition of two numbers. You can see there read two numbers. Okay, before that you can write down start. Okay, start. Thereafter read two numbers. Okay, read number one and read number two. Next, add two numbers into sum. Then summation is equal to number one plus number two. Then summation is equal to number one and number two. Okay, next step three, display the result. Okay, write summation. Okay, then after you can write down stop. Then after you can write down stop. Okay, next flow chart. Next flowchart, okay, represents the flow of program symbols. Represent the flow of okay program symbols is called flowchart. Okay, then starting, okay, start, begin or end. That purpose we are using this oval symbol. Okay, input and output purpose rectangle. Rectangle what purpose we are using input and output, that is called parallelogram. This is parallelogram. Okay, next process box or operation. That purpose we are using a rectangle. Okay, decision box, nothing but this is diamond symbol, that is called a decision box. Next connectors are there. Connectors nothing but one symbol to another symbol connection purpose we are using. Okay, this type of arrow. This type of arrow symbol we are using for connectors. Okay, next flowchart examples. Okay, here see flowchart the to add two numbers and display the result. Add two numbers to add the two numbers and display the result. Okay, here you can see start first one start. Each and every flowchart must and should start with start and end with the end. Starting and ending you can mention there oval symbols only. Okay, then after here add two numbers, nothing but we can add number one and number two. Okay, that purpose, first you can read those two values. Reading purpose, we are using scanf function. Okay, in programming, but here flowchart, you can use what is that one parallelogram. This is parallelogram you can use for reading and writing. Okay, what are the values are there? That purpose we are using parallelogram. And what is the calculation is there? That calculation processed in rectangle symbol. Rectangular symbol. Okay. Next here you can see. Okay, starting here with the oval symbol, reading number one and number two from user. Okay. Next summation is equal number one plus number two. Next, write that resultant value, write the summation on monitor. Next, end. Okay, these are what a flowchart. Okay, files, directory, file extension. You can see here. Okay, what is a file? Okay, what purpose we are using files? Files nothing but here. Okay, storage of logically related data. Storage of logically related data. Okay, that is called a file. Okay, we can store large amount of data in files only. Any information we can store in files only. That's why you can write down your own way also. Okay, what is the information is there? That information stored logically related data. Storage of logically related data is called a file. Okay, next one directory. Next one what a directory. Directory nothing but here you can see. Okay, that is a placeholder which can store files and subdirectories within them. Okay, what are the placeholders are there which can store files and subdirectories within them? Okay, what are the placeholders are there? Those placeholders can store files. Okay, they can store files and subdirectories within them. subdirect nothing but the directory inside another directory is there, that is called subdirectory. Okay, next file extension. File extension nothing but a special postfix attached to each file. Special postfix attached to each file. Okay, which indicates okay type of the file. Which indicates the type of the file. Okay, is called file extension. Okay, file extension. Okay. Next, sample program, C program. Okay, you can see here. Okay, here first documentation section. On the documentation section, print hello. Then after link section. Okay, then after what? Main function. Before that, global declarations are there. Those global declaration you can mention here before this main function and after this link function. Okay, then after curly braces open, then after print statement hello world. Okay, then after closing, then after you can write on their closing function. Okay, then hello.c. Here we can save that program by using dot extension, dot c extension. Okay, by using that extension only we can save the file. Okay, hello.c. Here hello is file name and C is file extension which which indicates that hello, which indicates that hello is a C program, that hello is a C program. Okay, next here today class you can see on that first from first here from first okay, what is the importance of this subject? Okay, C is the basic language of any other programming language. Okay, there is no C programming language. Okay, okay, ma'am. Next here you can see C is the basic language of any other programming languages. Okay, to be good programmer, okay, one must know fundamentals of C. Then that programmer is a good programmer. Okay, next history. What is the history of C? Okay, first root of the modern languages. Root of the modern languages is Algol 1960. Okay, it is first computer language to use a block structure. Here only from Algol only we can use the block structures. Okay, before that Algol we can't use these block structures. Okay, it gives concepts of structured programming language. Okay, then after Martin Richard, he was developed a language in 1967. BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language. Basic Combined Programming Language. Okay. Thereafter, you can see in 1970, in 1970, okay, by Ken Thompson, 1970 by Ken Thompson created a language called as B language. Created a language, okay, called as B language. It used to create a early version of Unix. Okay, this is used to create early version of Unix. On that only he was developed. Okay, B language. In 1972 by Dennis Ritchie introduced a new language is called C language. C language introduced by Dennis Ritchie in the year of 1972. Okay, next 1972 traditional C. Dennis Ritchie found a traditional 1972. Okay, introduced the traditional C language. Okay, that is found by Dennis Ritchie in 1978. K and R. K and R nothing but Kernighan and Ritchie. Okay, both are found C language. Okay, that's why that C language is K and or C. In 1989, ANSI C, American National Standard Institute, that introduced the C language. Okay, by ANSI committee. Okay, then after 1990s, ANSI or ISO. Okay, C. Okay, that is by ISC committee, ISO committee. That is by ISO committee. Okay, and then after features, what are the features are there in C language? When you can use the C language, that programs written in C are efficient. That written in C are very efficient. What are those C programs we can written in C language? Are efficient and faster. Okay, because of a variety of data types, and powerful operations, this C language is very efficient and faster. Very efficient and faster. Okay, next second point. Okay, highly portable. And next third one, well suited for structured programming. Well suited for a This language is well suited for a structured programming. Okay, this language is well suited for structured programming and the ability to extend itself. And we also extend this language. Okay, itself. That ability is there. That those are the features of a C language. Okay, programs and programming languages. Program nothing but what a set of instructions. A set of instruction when carried out by processor. When carried out by processor for some specific input and generates a specific output. When a set of instruction can which when carried out okay, by processor for some specific input and specific generates a specific output. Okay, next, programming language is specific manner of writing a program with some predefined rules. Okay, comma symbols, and they use as a part of language. Okay, that is called a programming language. Okay, example for programming language: Pascal, C, C++, VC plus plus, Java, VB. Okay, these all are programming languages. Okay, next, basic structure. What are the basic structure of C? In basic structure of C, first section is documentation section. It has set of comment lines. Okay, those comment lines. Okay, comment lines are the name of the program and author details. Those we can mention in that comment lines. Okay, what is comment line? Comment line nothing but that those are non-executable statements, and those comment lines are cannot be nested. Nested nothing but one inside another comment line we can't write down. Okay, only single starting at asterisk and slash backslash and asterisk and ending the asterisk and backslash. Okay, next, to guide a programmer, okay, to write a note, okay, for function operations logic in between a program. Okay, that is called okay, comment line. Okay, those are non-executable statements. Okay. Next, here you can see linking section. Linking section nothing but what, or what is a linking section? In linking section nothing but okay, it provides instructions to the compiler, okay, to link it. It provides instruction to the compiler to link a function, okay, from the system library. Okay, on that you can see, okay, hash include directive to access the functions, which are stored in the library. Okay, those functions all are stored in the library. Okay, those are accessed by using this include directive. There is no include directive, we can't access what are the information in our library, stored in our library. Okay, when you can use include directives, then you can access what are the functions are stored inside the library. Those we can access easily. Okay, it is necessary to tell compiler, okay, about the file to be accessed. Okay, when we are using this hash include, that is very necessary to tell the compile. There is no that link hash include, then compiler can't identify which language that one. Okay, that purpose we are using here. In first section is documentation section, and second section is linking section. In linking section, we can link our library to our program. Okay, our program. Okay, accessing purpose we are using this one. Okay. Okay. Next, third one, definition section. In the definition section, you can see it defines all symbolic constants. It defines all the symbolic constants. Okay, and there you can see, okay, defines, okay, hash define instructs, defines values, define values to a symbolic constant. Okay, next, hash define function is there. Okay, it is a preprocessor compiler directive. Okay, not a statement. This is not a statement, it is a preprocessor directive. That's why at the end of that we can't mention semicolon. Therefore, it should not end with semicolon. Okay, generally written in uppercase letter. Those are written in only uppercase letter. Okay, we can't write down in smaller letters. Okay, why these all are what preprocessor. Okay, it is a preprocessor. That's why. Okay, at the end of that we can't mention their semicolon. In main function, okay, after main function, then after you can write down the curly braces. Then after what are the statements are there? Declaration part and the executable part both are end with the semicolons. Okay, on that some of the decision making statements and looping statements we are again. Okay, those looping statements and conditional control statements can't end with semicolon. There you can't put any semicolon. But do while loop is there. On that do section you can write down. Then after while function you can write down. And after condition, must and should you can mention their semicolon. Okay, then only that is the right syntax for that do while. Okay, otherwise not correct. Next, global declaration section, fourth one. On that global declaration section, you can see, okay, some variables that are used more than one function, Such variables are declared in the global declaration section. Such variables are declared in the global variable section. Okay. Next, okay, next, it also declared all the user defined function. It also declares all the user defined functions. Okay. Next, here you can see main function. Main function. What is the main function? Every C program must have one main function. Okay, it contains two parts, declaration part and executable part. On the declaration part, it declares all variables used in executable part. Okay, what are the variables we can use in executable part? Those all we can declare in declaration section. And executable part nothing but what are the statements we can execute in that, those you can write down on that, those are called statements. Those are called statements. Okay. Next, here you can see main function. Here no arguments, explicitly indicate no arguments here, explicitly indicate here, here generally indication. Okay. Next, overall the basic structure of C programming you can see here: documentation section, linking section, definition section, declaration section, and main function. Then after curly braces open, declaration part, executable part. Okay, closing that. Here closing that, next sub program section. Okay, function one, function two, and user defined function. Any are there? Those you can mention there only. Okay. Next here, how to run a program. There are two ways to run program written in high level language. Okay, the most common is to compile the program. The other method to pass the program through an interpreter. To pass the program through an interpreter. Okay, these are called two types of next, what is a compiler? What purpose we are using compiler? Why compiler is required? Okay, why compiler is required? as machine can operate on binary code instructions only. On binary code instructions only. If we use high level language, then okay, for execution of the program, we must convert it to lower level to machine level language, lower level or machine level language. Okay, here you can see the compiler. Okay, the system, the computer, the computer or a machine can operate on binary code only, binary code instructions only. That's why the compiler, in the compiler, the computer can identify only binary language. That binary language we convert into high level language. Okay, and that high level language used by the user, that high level language cannot identify by the compiler system. Okay, system can only binary language. That's why the user code is there, or programming code is there. That programming code converted to machine code or lower level code, and that lower level code to machine level code conversion purpose we are using compiler. Okay, next. The meaning of that source code into object code and object code into source code translation purpose we are using compiler. The compiler derives its name from the way it works, looking at the entire piece of source code and collecting and recognizing the instruction. Okay, next interpreter is nothing but which analyzes and executes each line of source code, without looking at the entire program. Without looking at the entire program. Okay, next advantage of interpreter. What is the advantage of interpreter? It can execute a program immediately. It can execute a program immediately. Okay, next compiler requires some time before an executable program emerges. Okay, but however, programs produced by compiler run much faster than the same program executed by the interpreter. Okay, these compilers are there. Those compilers are very faster. Okay, execution compared to interpreters. Okay, next here you can see compiler. Okay, compiler checks for syntax errors. If any on there, those are checked by compiler. Any errors are there, those errors displayed in which line and which where. Okay, that error is there. We can see easily by using compiler in C language. Okay, on success converts C source code into object code. When there are errors, when there is no error, then automatically what is the source code is that source code converted to object code form, and which is nearer to machine. That object code is nearer to machine. Then only identified by the compiler. Otherwise, compiler cannot identify. Okay. Next compiler. This is over. Okay, next linker. What is a linker? A linker is a program that combines object modules to form an executable program. Okay. Next, these all are over. Okay. Next today lesson is over now. I think. Okay.